Bucky's Basement. Bucky's Basement.
Welcome to this week's episode of Bucky's Basement. I'm Bucky, and as always in the basement with me today, I have Old Boy.
I'm here.
And Juicebox.
Howdy.
And we are back with another episode of Fast Pitch. You know it, you love it, we know it, we do it well. It is creativity at its finest. And, you know, there's some rules, but we go over those every single week. I know you're back to hear us get back into the sack, draw more words, put them together, create titles, create movies, laugh at each other. A heck of a lot.
A lot. I've been re-listening to some Fast Pitches, and I laugh at yours every single time. I almost like choked on coffee the other morning.
Because they're so dumb.
Something you were talking about, I was like, oh my God.
I mean, yeah,
so
Bucky
good.
can barely make it through his own pitches.
That's right, yeah.
That's how much creativity I have just bursting out of my chest that I want to get out to you all.
Let's fucking
It actually gives it gives you a peek inside of each one of our minds and what we come up with when we see a series of words put in a certain order. I don't know. I look forward to doing these partly because we don't have to do any homework.
Yeah,
that is true.
We don't have to watch a Nick Cage movie a few times to review it.
We just have to be somewhat fresh.
Yeah.
We don't have to go on a party bus and spend $60 to hang out with complete strangers and be in an awkward situation.
Yeah, at least $60.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't have to, there's things that we don't have to do. We can come into this fresh, and it's always fun each and every week.
Yeah, so I think it's also nice, like, exercise and creativity, and, like, kind of keeps you sharp and on your,
100%.
quick on the creativity tip. For example, I just want to bring this up. I was at the lake a couple weeks ago over Labor Day, and we were playing this game called Mysterium, which is like, it's kind of, I could best describe it as kind of like Clue. Okay. But like way more in depth. Like there's a person that's like the ghost that's been killed, and they're giving you clues about like how and where they died. But the clues are like these cards that are just like artwork. So you're supposed to like look at this artwork and try to like decipher like what the ghost is trying to tell you or whatever. So
Gotcha.
I was not very good at this game. Like we were playing it, and I was just like, man, I could just not get it. Like the dude that was like the ghost, that's like leading the game was like giving me these cards, and I could tell, I get to like the third card that he gives me, and I'm still not figuring it out, and he's like looking at me like come on, man. Like,
let me guess,
like
the people who brought the game were really good at it.
No, I mean, I was playing with people that also hadn't played it.
Okay,
Gotcha.
But besides for the guy that was like the ghost who like leads the game.
Leads the game. Okay, like a dungeon master.
Yeah, basically. Long story short, like you get to the end of this game. I'm doing terrible. You get to the end of this game. One of the last things is you have to look at your cards and like come up with the murder story on the fly of how the ghost, how the person was killed and how the ghost, whatever. And then the ghost gets to decide, or I guess he decides whichever story he likes the best. So I was like sucking at this whole game, and then at the very end, I just like pulled like a random story out of my ass, and he was like, like that twist that you did with the murder weapon or whatever.
Did you win? You fast pitched.
I mean, I guess I don't know if I won. I don't like the whole thing was like you're kind of playing with the other people to try to solve this whole murder, but then at the end, it's like you get extra points, I guess, if you're like. If you're creative with the story. And
damn, you fast pitched it for the win.
Yeah, see, our listenership out there, like you can actually do something with these fast pitches. We've been talking about Hollywood buying them for years, but this one, Juicebox, a Labor Day cabin game.
Every day, Weekend Warrior did.
I don't know. It was like the only thing I was good at in that game. The rest of it I was very terrible at. But.
I'm kind of intrigued by the ghost like Rorschach test. Like,
dude, I mean, it's called Mysterium. It's a tripped out game. Like it's obviously my buddy had played it before, so he kind of had to set it up because there's a lot of like moving parts kind of to it. So.
Right.
Since we're on YouTube now, and you can watch us each and every week on YouTube, should we play this game as a podcast? Because we can hold the cards up to the cameras, and everybody
The
can play
artwork?
along with us.
Oh, dude, that's an interesting theory.
I don't know.
it'd be
We'll
like,
need to look into it.
Yeah, we'd have to play it a few times first to like get it.
Yeah, make sure we know what we're doing so we
Yep.
don't stumble too much.
So creativity can do things for you. If you're out there listening to us and you're walking your dog down the street and you've got your ear pods in, when you're on your own and you're just thinking, you're driving in your car, you're, making dinner, you're at work or whatever, and you just think of an idea that could be a movie or just a simple idea, something that spawns out of something small that just can, like, it compounds and it becomes a story in your head. And you
Right.
think that, somebody should hear that. Tell somebody your crazy ideas, because creativity is a reason, one of the main reasons we do this podcast. It's one of the main reasons we're friends, because
Okay, yeah,
we
I
sit
agree,
around
I
and
agree.
shoot the shit about nothing,
I
but
agree,
it
yeah.
is actually
Yeah.
something impactful or something memorable that stays with you. And that's what we try to do each and every week on Fast
Sure.
Pitch. You know the rules. We've got 15 minutes to write a plot for a movie based on a title that we're going to draw live on air. We've got to cast this movie. We've got to come up with a movie marriage, and we've got to
Come up with a
come up with a
tagline.
tagline for it, all within 15 minutes.
Yep.
And each and every week, it's either 2 words or 4 words, or it gets harder, it gets
Yep.
easier. You think it's an easy title, but that's where we have the most difficulty. And then when we get to tough titles, I think it all comes together in some weird way.
Oh, it's weird.
I think with tough titles you can go more abstract. That's
Oh,
like
big
the
time.
that's
Yeah,
the benefit
that's
of it.
true.
If you have a straightforward title, you kind of you can think outside
play
of
it
the box
safe.
on that title, but
We
9
end up
times-
playing it safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least I do.
The way we do this on Fast Pitch is we kick it over to Juicebox, who generates a number with his now infamous number generating sounds on Bucky's Basement.
Can I make a request?
yeah.
Scat.
Let the games begin. And then he's going to generate this number using a scat sound. And then we're going to draw one of these 1,000 words out of this nice sack that we have here on Bucky's Basement, where we get to get inside the head of Old Boy and figure out why in the hell some of these words are in here.
Yeah.
So it's always this whole episode. These episodes are so much fun for us. But before we get into drawing the words, creating a title, and then writing a whole movie in 15 minutes, we're going to kick it over to Juicebox so he can generate a number about how many words we're going to put in this title today using the soundbite scat.
If I can do this without laughing.
We won't look.
Six.
Oh no!
Damn, 6.
The scat, the scat on it.
Scat.
If
If you,
scat it out.
if you were listening to Fast Pitch for the very first time because you came here and you heard all the rage about it, we hate drawing the word or the number 1 because we each have to draw a separate word and write 3 different movies, or
Right.
6 because it takes about forever to put these words together
It's
in a
just so-
certain order.
And it
Yeah.
always comes out fucked up.
It does. The last 6 that we got was, if you guys remember this, it's Iceberg Indians,
Future Hollywood Tyrone Square.
Future
Yeah.
Hollywood, Tyrone Square. That can you imagine making a movie about that? Here, what we're gonna do to expedite this, I'm gonna draw 2 words. I've got them. I'm gonna
got
hand this sack over to Old Boy. Okay, I've got some serviceable words here.
I just got to. Screw it. I'll just go with them.
Juicebox is drawn. All right, let's get this started. Old Boy, what do you got?
I've got on or no. So it could be on or no.
How's that possible? On? No. All right, give me
And then
the
my
word.
second word is gummies.
Wow. On gummies. It would have been great to, or no gummies.
Could go either way.
My words are for and order. What do you got, Juicebox?
Tribute and made.
First one I came up with is For No Order Gummies Made Tribute, but that makes no sense, as none of them do.
No gummies made for tribute order.
No order made for tribute gummies?
No order made for tribute gummies.
Tribute gummies made for no order. That's just the same thing. That's
I
backwards.
think this is good.
What? No
Fucking
order made for tribute gummies.
If we would, if you didn't have tribute in this bag, we would have been fine.
Man.
All right, we've got to go with what we drew.
That's right. No order made for tribute gummies, and then we also got to do the Chat Smith thing too. So,
oh yeah, so we are gonna do this in 15 minutes. All three of us are gonna write a movie for the title "No Order Made for Tribute Gummies," which is gonna be kind of interesting to do. And we always compete against each other, but we compete against the internet and AI, and we type in the same title in Chat Smith and see if that organism or whatever it is comes out with something better than what we wrote. They also cast it, and they use a pretty extensive cast. We try to stay simple here. We try to stay within budget. We're doing a $15-20 million film.
Yeah, we've kind of downgraded the last couple and gone to TV writing for TV. We're like way under budget, man.
Maybe our creativity is going to come back this week for everybody out there listening. So we are going to take a short break and go into our corners and write the movie and cast this thing, write a tagline, create a movie marriage for the movie No Order Made for Tribute Gummies.
That's right.
All right.
Fuck it.
All right, we are back. We have spent our 15 minutes getting in the creative bunker wherever we went.
Bucky's Bunker.
Bucky's Bunker. We might have to rename the podcast, but we were tasked with going away for 15 minutes and writing the plot, casting the movie, writing a tagline, and creating a movie marriage for the title No Order Made for Tribute Gummies.
Yeah. Rolls right off the
tongue. Yeah, you're right. It sounds so, I don't know, sterile there. No order made for tribute gummies.
Hey, yep. That was better.
No order made for tribute gummies.
All right. Now do it in a Chinese accent.
No. I'm not trying to get the podcast canceled.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys. Like, I struggled with this a little bit, and I felt like I had like 3 or 4 different ideas like throughout the thing. I was like going one way, I was like, oh shit, I need to go a different direction, and then I was like, oh shit, this sucks too. I'm like, I need to go a different direction.
As soon as we got the words, I was like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. And when I started writing, I was like, I did not go that way. I went, but the direction I went just straight heads on, and I don't know if it's not good, but it's something.
This is going to be terrible, but you brought up accents, and you said do it in a Chinese accent, right? And I don't do accents that often. I don't roll them off the tongue. I don't attempt them. But
it is with that Sean Connery.
The other night,
you've attempted an accent in like the last 5 podcasts.
Right.
Okay, I try.
Oh, you.
And I'm going to try to do another one right now.
All right.
I'm going to tell you a little story. The other night, Levon, my son, was in a room, and it was the lights were off. He said, "Daddy, can you turn the lights on?" And I said, "Are you afraid of the dark?" And he said, "Yes." And immediately my mind goes to this quote from a movie that I've always thought about. Let me see if I can do this. "You merely adapted the dark. I was born in it." And like I say that every time.
Jesus,
that's terrible.
Is that Dark Man?
No, bitch.
Was that Liam Neeson?
It was
Dark
fucking Bane from Batman 3.
I honestly thought it was Sean Connery. That's a better Sean Connery than the.
Were you talking out of the side of your mouth there?
What is it? My
stroke,
Sean Connery.
Dude, it was so that your Bane is a better Sean Connery than your Sean Connery.
That might be true.
That was awesome.
So I say that now every time he says he's scared of the dark.
Oh, dude, I thought you were gonna do like it floats.
No,
and just get real. Anyway, all right.
I love the "you merely adapted."
Yeah.
Merely adopted the dog.
Now your kid's not afraid of the dark. You're like, if that's the worst. That
You
you
just change your voice every once in a while. All right, so this week we are back on Fast Pitch. We're all gonna give you our movie ideas for the title "No Order Made for Tribute Gummies."
Yep.
I think I have made you guys go first for so many times. I'm gonna try to get this one out of the way to see if we all kind of went the same direction or if we had some different creativity here. Jason was a man with a lot of support. Since he was a kid, he enjoyed candies made of glucose syrup and gelatin, gummy bears, gummy worms, ropes, etc. It was only natural that when Jason grew up, he studied these candied treats in hopes of making the perfect gummy. He went to college and worked at Haribo. Now it was time to make his own, what he'd been salivating about for years. Fast forward, and we see Jason's grassroots company thriving. People would come from all around and wait in lines to get his gummies. Jason decided to turn his gummy fandom into an entire event where attendees would get the world's most exclusive gummy, and he would be there to try it with them for the first time. The event started on a Friday and was a weekend affair. On Friday, they would try the Volunteer Gummy. On Saturday, they would try the Freedom Gummy. And on Sunday, they would try the world's most exclusive gummy, the Tribute Gummy. The weekend was going well until Sunday morning when everyone, including Jason, didn't wake up.
Whoa. Oh.
My cast is Jason, who is the ringleader of this cult, Kool-Aid cult, is what I'm envisioning here.
Yeah.
All right.
It's Smoking Ben Affleck.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I also had another character in mind for this movie, which
Okay.
would be like somebody attending the event, and that was going to be Chasing Amy's Ben Affleck.
Oh, okay. I'd prefer that guy.
My tagline is, "No order made for tribute gummies. One batch will spoil the bunch." It's
You went real Jim Jones with it.
fucking
Yeah.
awful.
And you thought we would too. That I don't know what that
I don't
says about us.
know. My movie marriage is Jonestown Massacre, and the movie Frosted, which is about somebody who makes candies.
Okay.
All right.
Not seen that or the other one. I mean, I know about the Jamestown thing, but
Mm-hmm.
damn. All right. You went in a direction I was not expecting.
Are we really believing that Smoking Ben Affleck is a charismatic enough person to like
I
convince a
agree.
whole shitload of people to follow him, and then
I
like
agree.
It's before he's smoking. It's like I don't think he smoked. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
then he's not
Yeah, I
smoking
don't
Ben
know.
Affleck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chasing Amy's Ben Affleck was the okay, we're gonna change my cast here.
Okay.
And then Smoking Ben Affleck is when it worked for everybody but him.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I can get that. He's like, oh man, I missed the mothership, right?
That's it.
or whatever it is. Whatever they believe.
Mass
Dude, you went
suicide
into-
gummies.
Wow, you went in a completely weird direction that I was not expecting, and I don't know how I feel that you thought I'd be grouped into with that. But thank you.
Okay.
No.
What do you got?
All right. Fuck it. Here it goes. No order made for tribute gummies. Sheila never backs down from a challenge and has a reputation of always completing a job, no matter how difficult the target. But when she's handed the biggest assignment of her life, taking out an extremely controversial former prime minister, I had to change it to prime minister. Even Sheila is having second thoughts, but her handlers are not giving her any options. The former prime minister is to be taken out at a highly publicized tribute dinner in his honor. And, this is the icing on the cake, he's to be poisoned with a special order of his favorite gummy bears. But things take a turn for Sheila when she arrives at the drop point for the lethal treat and is told there is no order made for tribute gummies in the system. With her back against the wall, Sheila must procure the poison bears, infiltrate the event, and eliminate her target, or else. All right. My movie
Wow.
marriage is Smoking Aces and Bullet Train, which I've not seen Bullet Train, but I think you got
Goddamn
I think you-
theme.
I
This
think
is a
you- I
theme
think
every
you- I
single
think you-
week.
But I saw the trailer, and I think you kind of get the feel for what I'm going for. You know, it's like a bunch of people. Like there's like
Yeah.
it's like John Wick, but comedy also. So it's action, thriller, comedy. All right, my cast is Sheila. I was gonna do an Australian accent, but I fucking didn't.
Sheila
Sheila is played by Sydney Sweeney.
Of course she is.
And the prime minister is played by David Caruso because I'd like to see him bite the dust. So those two.
So
All
David Caruso has to do an Australian accent in this movie.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go.
Take
He's
those
very
fucking
good at
glasses
it.
off and
He just
says-
turns to the side, takes his glasses off, and says, "Good night, Mike."
says something really racist in Australian. All right.
And it's got to be like CSI ending. It's like,
Yeah.
he put another shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah, nailed it. Oh man. All right. Here's my tagline.
That's the prime minister saying that. I'm sorry, good.
All right.
So it's a blockbuster action film.
Yeah, no, I got it.
We're turning Old Boys' movie into what we want it to be.
I don't know. It's starting to feel like a fucking USA TV show now. You fucking downgrading my shit. All right. Let me try to get through this fucking tagline. No order made for tribute gummies. The fuck you mean they're not on order? I have a goddamn confirmation number.
Oh my god!
Sorry, that's all I could think about when we got this title.
Assassination plot. I like it.
Yeah, wait a minute. All you could think about was somebody not receiving their order.
Somebody saying, "What the fuck you mean they're not on order?" That's all I could think about. I was like, "Well, that's gotta be the tagline."
So did you come up with the tagline and then write the movie?
I think so. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think that was always in the back of my head.
All right. So I'm going to try to get through this because, like I said, I had a couple different ideas and then I just like started to write down other shit. So here we go.
All right.
No order made for tribute gummies. This is going to be starring Thomas Hayden Church as Ron Pierce, a mid-50s unemployed former police officer who is on the verge of a mental breakdown.
Sounds about right. That's
Yeah.
specific.
I think you
very
nailed your
specific.
casting. I don't know.
Okay. Tribute gummies are the hottest new candy on the market. The gimmick is each pack of gummies comes with a collectible tribute card of former presidents. A code that is discovered in the collector card of Richard Nixon goes viral, and everybody wants to start collecting that card and figuring out what the code is. But why was it that card specifically? Ron, living in his parents' basement, scrapes up the last bit of money that he has and finds a shady third-party dealer on the internet where he can order these gummies in bulk. He needs to order all these cards because he thinks that there's a larger mystery and the codes are on all the different cards. So he orders all this. He spends all his money, orders through the third-party company. Nothing comes. He waits and waits and waits and nothing comes. He calls the third-party supplier, no response. He emails and calls Tribute Gummies like last-ditch effort and finally gets a response. One sentence, no order made for Tribute Gummies. Was Ron scammed, or had this been something he made up in his mind the whole entire time?
Oh, I like it.
All right.
So, it's kind of like a mystery thriller
Yeah,
maybe type
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Anyway,
Like the Saint.
no, I didn't have the Saint in mind. Actually, so I had Conspiracy Theory, which I had in a movie Marriage
right.
previously, but I also have like Jacob's Ladder because you know how he's like going crazy in that
It's
movie
all
and
in
like
his
can't
head,
tell
yeah.
what's like real and what's
Yep.
not, and it turns out that he's like
Yeah.
Or
dead
like
or whatever.
Vampire's Kiss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that where this guy's like, you know, he thinks he's solving this code, but he's also kind of probably just having like some type of mental breakdown,
Right.
and it's very ambiguous about what is really happening.
What reality is.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. I'm down with it.
All right.
I also want to know what's on that code.
My tagline is, no order made for Tribute Gummies. The code is everything, but does it even exist?
Hell yeah. Intriguing.
Dark. I was gonna say, do you think the code was "I'm not a crook"?
I couldn't think that deeply into trying to think about what the code was, but it's probably just some like numerology or some kind of symbols or some shit that conspiracy theorists could latch onto.
Those are 3 interesting pitches.
3 very different pitches.
Very different. When you get gummies, you think we're all going to go the exact same way. But we have one other contender in the ring, and that
I already typed it up. I already got the motherfucker going, man.
Is this just a segment?
It
Old
really
boy forgets about chats.
I do. I'm like, man.
Old boy forgets about AI
It might be
every week.
I subliminally want to forget about it. All right, we got Chat Smith. It's a Chat GPT bot that typed up. I punched in, give me a movie pitch for a movie titled No Order for Tribute Gummies, and this is what it shot out. The genre, dark comedy satire. It gives me a tagline first. Should I read it or just go? All right. It says logline, in a dystopian society where the government mandates citizens to pay tribute with quirky, flavored gummies to ensure their survival, a rebellious group of misfits discovers that the secret ingredient could change everything.
Is that a
Soylent
tagline
Green?
or is that the movie?
Yeah, it may be.
Yeah, that's not a tagline. That's like
It's not a
plot.
tagline. It's like that's
like plot by Juicebox.
Yeah.
In a world where the whimsical meets the absurd, every citizen is required to send a monthly shipment of tribute gummies to the enigmatic Bureau of Flavors, an all-powerful governing body that determines the fate of the population based on their taste in candy. For most, this means indulging in bizarre flavors like Doom Chocolate Chili and Nectar of Regret, concocted to reflect their emotional state. But for Leonard, a jaded middle manager struggling with misguided loyalty to the system, the latest order hits differently. When the postal drone crashes at his feet, exploding its cargo of brightly colored gummy tributes with a cacophony of scents, Leonard stumbles upon a hidden stash of black market gummies, specifically a peculiar batch labeled the Flavor of Rebellion. Intrigued, he samples one, only to find himself flooded with a manic courage that leads him to a secret underground network of fellow dissenters who have tasted the forbidden flavors. Together, they hatch a plan to overthrow the Bureau and unleash the true flavors of freedom. There's like 2 more paragraphs, but I think we know it. He took the red pill.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another Matrix one.
Another Matrix. Yeah. Yeah. Man, the AI's really into the Matrix.
Who's acting in this thing? Did they give you actors or no?
It's probably the same fucking Tilda Swinton. And,
Oh, yeah.
let's see. I did ask for a tagline. Freedom never tasted so sweet until it's time to chew on the consequences, which I kind of like.
Damn, that's a good tagline.
I kind of like the idea, even though it is kind of a Matrix ripoff. I'm not hating the idea,
Yeah, the cast, Leonard, played by Paul Rudd, the everyman turned reluctant hero. Rita is Aquafina. Damn, they love Aquafina. Max is John Mulaney, an eccentric ex-bureau analyst with a penchant for conspiracy theories.
Wow.
Aquafina is a quirky gummy artist. Director Grayson is Meryl Streep. The gummy syndicate leader is Danny DeVito. Investigative journalist Jessica Henwick. And flavor analyst is it Ken Jeong? Ken Jeong?
Yeah.
And that's it. Diverse cast.
Every week it fucking scares me.
Yeah. It's kind of depressing, but I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, I could barely read what I wrote in 15 minutes, and this turns out some, eloquent shit
in 30 seconds.
Less than that, like a half a second.
It was pretty good. I mean, I would never watch that movie, I don't think. Like, it would come... I know you would, but,
Thanks. There's still
because you know how it turns out. That's like right up your alley.
I love this. This is another week and another episode where AI didn't beat us. They've only beat us once in the 22 times that we've done this, I think. Or we've all agreed that they've beat us.
It's getting better, man.
It is.
Yeah.
I think it's listening to us.
Here, I'll turn it off. What if we what if we ask it to write a title and it's like a third in the trilogy of Gloom of Who's Stack?
Oh my God.
What?
It would be incredible. Each and every week, wherever you're listening to us, whatever podcast network you're on, whether that's Spotify or Apple or Podbean or something, iHeartRadio, something we've never even heard of.
We're all over the place.
Let us know where you're listening, and please smash that like and subscribe button. We do this every single week. We're also on YouTube. We have an incredible basement here. It's kind of like Wayne's World, except a lot cooler and more new.
Swing.
Yeah. Was Wayne's World, was that in his parents' basement?
Yeah.
Basement? Okay.
So.
This is in Bucky's basement, and I'm the parent, and you guys are like Wayne's World. And we do this each and every week. We thank you so much for listening. Bucky'sBasement.com is where you can find us. And when you're out there, just, always, it never fails to
Tell your mama then.
But that's all in the movies. It won't happen to you and I. That's all in the movies. So baby, don't cry. It's all in the movies. It won't happen to us, I know. It's all